shit! Hello! Didn't see you guys there. Don't mind my face so close to the screen. I'm a mess. What's up, guys? This is a long overdue update video that should have come out months ago, but I just haven't had the time to actually sit down and figure out what I wanted to say. So here we are. Don't mind that stupid skit over there. This is why I don't do comedy. So I guess the first and foremost thing to say is, how's it going? It's been a while since I've had a true face-to-face talk with you guys, and the last time that I did this, aside from the last review or update vlog, whatever it was before the video for the Secret Garden review, the performance review. And I had mentioned in that the setting back here looks a little bit different. Gee, I wonder why that is. I moved. I moved to start to live by myself, and that was about 3 months ago at this point. It was the beginning of June that the move actually happened. So I've been living on my own for about 2-3 months at this point, and so obviously that's kind of changed a couple of things about everything. Like, for example, I don't have as much time as I usually would have to do this stuff, because I'm working. I am working to, you know, try to pay rent, try to pay safety deposit, Wi-Fi, water, electricity, everything. You know, trying to actually be an adult, and it sucks. But I'll get into all of that later. I don't want to bog down the video right at the very beginning. But I've also been putting this video off because I wanted to do like just a little bit of a behind-the-scenes tour. The room's not perfect. It probably never will be because of my my habit to procrastinate. But I believe it's in a good enough condition to actually show you guys what's going on with this apartment. So as you can see, other hand, back there, that's kind of my personal stuff. I'm still working in my room, and you know, my room is still my office to say the least, but it is a lot more spacious than I had back at the house. So I'm able to do a lot more and like move around and, you know, not be confined the entire time. And the walls are a little bit thicker here too, so I can actually, you know, do the stuff that I want to do without worrying about bothering anybody. And I made it clear that if it was a bother, then, you know, they would only have to tell me. So my trusty fan over here, keeping me nice and cool throughout this stupid fucking summer weather. You can see other hand, mirroring, there we go. Right there. One of my master swords. That is the wooden one. The one that is supposed to go to conventions, except that I have the sword, but the cosplay is kind of all over the place and unfinished, so unfortunately I'm not able to actually, yeah, do stuff like that. I have the other one as well that I tried to hang, but it goes to show that those command hooks don't actually work the way that they're supposed to. So, got it right here. No, one of the things broke. Oh, shit. What was that in there? What was that in my shit? from the drop that I was worried about. And you gotta move out of the way because the camera is very low. So you got it right here, nice and metallic, not convention material though. It's more of a safety hazard than anything else. So I should probably put this in a place where it's not going to, actually get damaged. Unfortunately, I don't necessarily know a place like that for right now, so I'll just put it on the bed. And as you probably saw, oh god, the fucking Velcro broke. Well, not broke per se, but came unattached. Master Shield, too. This was all from when I actually wanted to do a Link cosplay, and maybe at one point that will be a reality once again. Unfortunately, not right now though. So that's there. I'm gonna be moving the camera, so if you don't like stuff like that, please just forgive me. The camera work's not the best, especially because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. So up there, we got all of my posters. Well, most of the posters. Did another one fall? Oh, whatever. So we got the musical stuff, the stuff from Throne controllers. I don't know, a whole bunch of fandom stuff as well. We're not gonna take a look at my bed. And then we kind of got the the miscellaneous corner, but believe me, it was a lot worse than before. A lot worse before. So food dishes, stuff like that. All my stuff in here. This isn't even the most of it. Things are going to be moving around, and that's related to another thing that I'm going to put. Alrighty, let's take 3 then, shall we? I had to switch to my other camera because apparently the one that I was using doesn't like to be moved. Apparently this one doesn't either, but oh well. So you can get a little peek here. The lighting's not great. Unfortunately, the lighting's never going to be great in this room. It's just, it's the start of the games corner and everything. And then we have like the figurines and whatnot. You can see Blake and the Ruby crew, and then like the villains and whatever else over there, as well as a whole bunch of controllers. Don't mind all the blankets and everything. There's never a place to put everything in this room. And then shoddy camera work ahoy. This is my setup for right now. This monitor specifically is going to be switched out at some point because you can see here I have a speaker plugged into the switch. It's because this monitor never came with any sound capability. It came with the HDMI input, but it never came with any sound capability. So I've been having to do this for the meantime. But if things are going to progress in a good fashion, then this is going to have to change. And then there's the switch. I have my clock for time purposes. My phone, my iPad is around here somewhere. I use that. Don't mind the freaking deodorant, and it's just there. My trusty coffee, because of course you can't have any recording session without a cup of coffee. The Blue Snowball mic, which is being used for more music covers at this point than anything else, and just this because I knew I was going to be moving around. And then the trusty laptop, which it's been hanging in there. So that's a whole thing. It took a whole lot longer than I was hoping, but whatever. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to be switching back to the other camera because this one does not have a stand to actually put on. So I will be right back. Alright, future me, I apologize. This is going to be a bitch to edit, but things happen. We're going at it live. So that's the room tour. Again, it's not set in stone. Things are going to be moved around because a whole bunch of things are going on in my life. right now. Aside from the move, which is pretty much all said and done, I still have an internship that it needs to go on, and the biggest thing is kind of family related, but it's not private per se. Everybody's going off in different directions. My sister, my first sister, the middle child sister, she's been off for a little bit. Come on. I think she's third. I think she's junior year in college. Senior year. I can't remember, honestly. My other sister just moved into her dorm recently. Her classes started this past week. And my dad is selling the house. So what does that have to relate to me, and what does that have to do, if anything, for you guys? Well, because, you know, the move is going on, it means that all of the consoles that were in the old house get to go to me, and that's already been decided and whatnot. The only thing that's not going is the GameCube, which the middle sister had already claimed, but yeah, that will work. That it's whatever. At least it's in the family. It's the Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness Edition GameCube, so we really didn't want to give that away. But what that means is that I'm going to have pretty much all the consoles that I had up at the house, which means possibilities for more games to be recorded or redone in a better fashion, which brings me to my next point. The whole money thing and the work thing, it's not just going into that, it's actually going into getting the next step for this channel, which is one of the Elgato systems. Now, Chris already has one, because I had gotten one at some point. It's been years since that actually happened, but my TV didn't have the right specs, so I actually wound up giving it to him. So that's the story on how Chris got his. I'm finally looking into getting one of my own, and with that and one of the old TVs from the house that actually has an HDMI connection and has sound, it's going to be very, very possible to finally start streaming directly from consoles, which will make things look so much better. And again, we'll open up possibilities for, maybe new redos for game series or new stuff, and we'll get to that in a bit. But, things are happening. Unfortunately, money is tight right now because I'm working as a server, and I'm probably gonna make a whole other video on that topic alone. But the basic is that the base point of that is the fact that it's a gamble to try to get money as a server, because unfortunately you're dealing with customers, you're dealing with humans, and you're relying on their goodwill to actually tip proper. So I'm not guaranteed to get a good paycheck every time. That brings me to my next point, which I have not brought up in a while, but I figure I might throw this out, give it a shot. If you would like to help me out with all of that, I have a couple things in the description. There's my Patreon, which I really haven't updated because, I hardly have any money as it is, so I don't know what type of rewards that I can give people. But I really would appreciate a donation there, and if you don't want to go that far, if you feel like you wouldn't be getting anything for your money through the Patreon, there's also the coffee account down below, which you can buy me a coffee for $3, and every single little bit helps. It really does. Especially because, now that I'm in my own place, I have a little bit more freedom to do more, and, having the right materials, the right tech, will make the quality a lot better. But let's put all that aside. I just wanted to get that out there. What else? We'll take a step back for a minute, because I skipped over one of the points that I wanted to make. Is kind of the games and the future of what games are going to be going on this channel. Now, don't expect anything new right out the gate. I'm still working on a whole bunch of things, but I guess one of the biggest things that has been missing from the lineup has been Phantom Hourglass. And there are a couple of reasons why I've been putting that off as long as I did. The last recording session that I had before I lost everything, before my computer like crapped out and I lost everything that was on the old drive, was it wasn't the best quality, and that coming from me says a lot. Considering that all you hear in my commentary is complaining, blah, 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 blah. But it was especially bad in the last recording session. Things were kind of like spiraling down in a really terrible fashion. Things were not going my way. I was getting super frustrated, and then everything was gone. So I need to really start to get into the mindset of that again. I have to remake the entire layout that I did, which honestly I probably could make better at this point. So there's a blessing in disguise there. And then there's also the fact that Chugga Conroy, as I had mentioned before, was also doing the series at the time. After I lost everything, I still wound up continuing on watching his series. So I wanted a little bit of time to kind of take a break, to kind of let what I saw flow out. So I'm not kind of just doing a carbon copy of what I've seen about this game, and can still kind of enjoy it, even though I know what's going to be going on at the end now. I still want to have my own unique commentary on it. So that reboot, or that continuation, will be happening sooner than later. I really do want to get to it so I can get to Spirit Tracks, but just know that it is happening. It is happening, and for those of you who were actually looking forward to it and enjoying it, I will at least try not to disappoint you. As for other games, and this actually ties into another topic I wanted to talk about, so this actually works out. There are a couple games that are coming out next year that I definitely want to take a look at. There's Indivisible, which, if you've been with my channel for a while, know I've done a couple of videos on the demo of that game. And it's finally getting a release date. It's finally getting a release. I think it's spring of next year, I wanted to say. So, around April, May, it'll actually be happening. And of course, since I backed the game, and I really enjoy what they're doing with it, it's definitely going to be on the channel. So that is a guarantee of what's going to happen. Same thing with Chris Tales, although I didn't back that, so it's not like I'm getting it for free or anything. I will be having to pay for that, but it will happen. It impressed me enough where I really wanted to go on and see what happens. So that is also another guarantee at some point. And that will also lead into the streams, because there are a couple of games that came out recently / are coming out within the next couple of months that I want to do with the group. And the group streams have been very, very sparse, if non-existent lately. That's just because after we got finished with Fates, it kind of ran into a dry spell a little bit where we just needed to have a break from everything, and also the fact that I didn't have anything to record Switch stuff with, so we couldn't really continue that the Fire Emblem group stuff until I got something for it, which would be the Elgato, which I mentioned before. So with that, the plan of attack is that we are going to kind of go through Fire Emblem Warriors main game. It's not long. I've already played through it. It really shouldn't take too long, especially because on easy mode, and I've been playing it enough to know exactly what to do. And it is kind of a breather from the heavier storytelling of the Fire Emblem franchise. And then, of course, I've mentioned this in streams before, Three Houses is going to happen at some point. But this is probably one of the biggest Fire Emblem games that has been released thus far. Because, it's Fire Emblem cross Persona. It's, nobody can deny that. So it's going to take a lot of planning, a lot of figuring out little details and everything. So it's probably not going to happen until next year, if I'm being completely honest. But it is going to be happening, and once I have the Elgato in my possession, then you will know that things will be starting up again, at least on my end. In addition, there's also Pokemon Sword and Shield that is coming out, and considering that we've done Sun, or Moon and Ultra Moon already, we are going to be continuing on with Sword, because that's the one I'm going to be getting. So Pokemon Sword will be on this channel as well. So that's just me. I want to divert on my stuff for a second, because we do also have other plans in the works for future streams on for Chris's channel as well. Like, for example, the Phoenix Wright series. I've been doing it practically by myself for a long time now on my channel, but with the re-releases coming out, we want to do it on Chris's channel as well as a group, so at least PJ can get integrated into the series and everything, and it'd just be a fun time for the most part, because Special Edgeworth is going to be a part of it, and I'm going to want to shoot myself. But regardless, that is going to be happening at some point soon, and as well as Persona 5. Once PJ sinks his claws into that, we want to do a Persona 5 series as well. So there is that, and I think we are starting to come to the end of everything here, which let's be grateful for that. Oh, damn, let's not keep this coffee hot. So other plans for the channel aside from the gaming content, because if you've noticed, I started to kind of branch out a little bit recently with the types of content that is going to be on the channel. Now, gaming is still going to be the main focus on the channel, but I don't want it to be strictly gaming, because that wears me down. And I don't feel like I can get creative enough with it. So if you remember a month or two back, I released the cover of the Three Houses main theme, the shortened version. That is going to be getting a redo, because I feel like I could have done a whole lot better, and circumstances were a lot different back when I was recording that. So that's going to be coming out at some point, as well as the full version, Edge of Dawn. I have kind of already worked on a base for that, and that's kind of there for now. that's probably not going to be released for a long time, only because Nintendo has been a little bit bitchy with the music content lately, and taking down any source for the Three Houses music. So I feel like that's going to have to be put off regardless until that calms down a little bit. So that will be coming, but it will be a long time coming. So regardless, I think the point is I want to do more music covers, and I've been saying that for a long time, over and over again. But now I'm in an opportunity where I can actually do it. So I've been kind of working on that, working to try to get better at doing that. So the content that you hear is the best that I can of my ability. And I want to do other types of videos as well. As I mentioned at the beginning of this stream, there was the review for The Secret Garden, which was the final project for my musical theater class in my final semester. That was something different. That was something I think was really cool. And if you didn't give it a look, I definitely recommend it, especially if you like musical theater and all that. And even before that, there were the concerts that I pulled together, specifically the choir portions from my sisters, myself, etc. So there's that too. And there are other types of videos. At the point that this video comes out, it should be out. There's the review for Astrologia that came out as well, which is something a little bit different that I haven't tried. And there are also a couple of other ideas that I've gotten from other people that I've been watching on YouTube that kind of sound really interesting that I want to do. So there's a whole bunch swimming around in my head that is going to get done at some point. And I guess the final thing that I want to say or to discuss is the collab stuff, because that has been a little bit of a bear. Just because schedules kind of don't work out and we can't get together all the time. So right now, at the moment of recording this, there is Persona 4 with PJ. There is Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright with Chris. A Hat in Time with Chris, which the main story has gotten done at this point. And then in terms of streams, there is the Dragon Age and Mass Effect series that I did with Suzie and or PJ and or Pooja. So, all of that is coming back. It is all dependent on release dates and everything, and time as well, so that hasn't disappeared. It's just that trying to work with somebody else is it's not necessarily terrible. I would never say that in absolute confidence, but it is a little bit more frustrating because you have to rely on all parties involved actually being available at the times that you set. And unfortunately, especially now, I say, my young 23-year-old inexperienced, naive self, that things keep getting thrown at you, and you get exhausted, and it's just not necessarily possible to do at a consistent basis. That's why I have the solo videos that I do, just to kind of fill in the gaps. And whenever the collab stuff does come out, those can be switched out because those are on a more rare basis. And I could do the solo videos at any point. At any point, it's a lot easier to do. But wait, there's more, because more stuff keeps getting popped into my head. Besides the fucking, oh good. Besides the stuff that I wrote down, because I needed to write this stuff down, otherwise I would be a bumbling idiot. Not that I already am not one, but I digress. Collab music. Chris and I have been trying to do a Starbomb cover thing from Starbomb, which is Ninja Sex Party, Aaron Hansen, a Tupperware remix party, Markiplier, and some other guests for a long time, and it has been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. But I want to bring attention to the fact that that is a thing that we've been trying to do in the background for a long time, and when it comes out, it's gonna sound amazing. But I want to put it out there so I have documented proof that I said it. I made a promise to you guys that it is going to get done, and that'll help get things moved along. Because once I make a promise for something, it kind of sticks out a lot more than when I just say, oh, it'll be done at some point. So I've rambled on. If you're the type of person that kind of skips through the video because you don't like me talking for 30 minutes, let me give you a summarized version. I have moved. That has given me a lot more opportunity to do things that I wouldn't have been able to do in the old house. I am trying to get tech to improve the stuff on the channel, and also to expand the amount of stuff that I can actually do. And with that new tech will be new series, new streams, or redos of old series that I did a long time ago. With this newfound power, with this new opportunity, I want to expand the amount of content that I have on my channel. Music and reviews and just other fun stuff to get you more into my personal life, so you're not just seeing the one side of me that's just playing a game and complaining about it most of the time. Collab stuff is happening. It's harder to do on a consistent basis, and that includes both game and music. In terms of streams, Three Houses, Fire Emblem Warriors, and Pokemon Sword are next in line for the group streams on this channel. And if you want to help me in these endeavors, I would really appreciate some donations. I'll try to figure out some sort of reward system at some point, but if you just want to be generous, maybe it's not convincing. Whatever. And finally, thank you guys for listening to me ramble on. I have a whole bunch of stuff that was on my chest, but I don't really get to get it out during the actual videos because I'm so distracted with story and what I'm doing in the videos and whatever else. So having this face-to-face from time to time is actually really nice. And in conclusion, life will change, and has changed, and will continue to change, and I hope that you guys will stick with me through all those changes, and kind of watch me, and watch this channel, and watch this audience grow, and get even better than it already is. Couple of words of thanks that I want to bring out. Obviously, I want to thank Chris, Suzie, PJ, Pooja, my closest friends, and those who kind of help me get this shit going, and keep me from going insane most of the time, although sometimes it backfires, and they're the ones that make me insane. But regardless, they are my closest friends, and I don't think I could have done any of this stuff, have gotten this far without them. And I want to thank you guys for sticking with me through the shitty content, the good content, the frustrating content, etc., etc., etc. And I hope that you guys will continue to stick with me. Now, before I start repeating myself over and over and over and over and over again, as I tend to do, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later.